We're live!
Oh no, I didn't even put makeup on.
Ah!
I'm ready.
So guys, we are live, even though for most of you guys it's going to be a replay. We have my buddy Raz Schifrin in the house.
Hi.
Come all the way over to the UK with his speed cars. This one here,
Yes.
how fast have you gone with that?
This one did 170, but we're shooting for 180, 190 this time.
How fast has that one gone?
198 miles an hour, and we're shooting for 210 or 215. We'll see if it doesn't explode. If it makes
And you've got new batteries, so it should do it.
Right. It did 198 on cheaper kind of battery.
And the smoother runway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be pretty epic.
And we've got my car that Raz has been working on. This one, we're aiming for 205 mile an hour.
Right, we just worked on this one for 9 hours straight today, and it's good to go. So we're
thanks, dude.
You're welcome. So we're pretty curious to see what will happen with the hobby wing. I think it's going to cut, but it actually might surprise us and go really, really fast and strong.
Should we give him a little peek?
A little peek.
A little peek.
All right, yeah, you see?
Yeah, give him a big peek.
That's it.
But we've got this Behemoth, Raz calls them.
It is a Behemoth, so that's the huge Hobby Wing Max 4 and 560 kV. Nice Onyx 6S on each side, so 12S with a lot of oomph.
Oh, look, the special Razzie shafts.
Yeah, carbon fiber titanium shaft.
Let me turn it around so we can see what's going on.
All right. So we got carbon fiber titanium shaft, perfect pass monster servo, perfect pass.
Oh, this is secret.
Ooh, very secret. Oh yeah, so Kev
That's too
made
late
that.
now, it's not secret anymore.
I know,
now.
I gotta tell you, man, this thing is pretty epic and brilliant. A lot of people give Kev shit about him not being so, technically inclined. But I gotta tell you, this is, I was surprised, man. This is epic, and it leaves so much room in the actual car. I think we're going to see a lot more of that out there right now.
Will it find its way in your cars?
I'm telling you, that works. It works.
Because what we're going to do is, we're going to run it as it is a one motor.
Right.
Then, if it's not quite fast enough,
it's going to have...
We've got another one.
Yeah, which I think it's too much.
And another one, ESC.
Yeah, and it's going to be 24S.
It will fit.
Yeah, it will fit. We measured it.
Because that motor is going to go there.
Right. That ESC is
my
going to
very
go
good
here.
friend here custom made me
yes
some special legs so we can move this motor all the way to there.
You're talking about a 60 horsepower RC. Easy. So yeah, it's gonna be
all about
epic.
more power, guys, more power.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty epic, so I'm excited about that also.
And the ESC will sit there, motor there, twin, and yeah, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, got Dan's Bearded RC Adventures in the house. We got Kimberly in the house.
Ooh.
Oh, Kimberly, thank you so much for sorting me out with those pinion gears. We actually put in those gears into this car here. And to get the theoretical top speed of over 200 mile an hour, we really need those gears. And Kimberly, check out Kimberly's channel there, look, Basher Queen.
And if something doesn't work for you, that's the Kev's way. I gotta show people that. If it doesn't work, just cut it. And it will work.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, we have a diffs car right here. Oh, I didn't even open this one.
So this one's the 198 mile an hour.
Right, so that's the dual 1721s with dual XLX2s and some 2.8S system. So
in a minute, we're going to be doing question and answers to Raz. So we're going to be reading all your comments.
Right.
We're just quickly going to show you the cars first.
Right.
And then we're going to answer some, well, Raz is going to answer some questions because I don't know what I'm doing. I'll just, whatever Raz says.
Yeah, also, I want to say...
Hold on, more power, and then it's over to Raz.
Right, and I want to say hello to all my friends back home in Israel. What's up, guys? What's going on? מה קורה, חבר'ה? מה הולך? So this car had the Cordova 1446, like you've seen on my channel, with the XLX2. Yeah, that's a real behemoth right there. So it did 173 miles an hour, and it didn't even break a sweat. It was like 400 and something amps, and we have up to 600. So I'm hoping...
Waffle.
So I'm hoping it's a 180, 190 mile an hour car. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then we have the state of the art, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God, when Raz saw it for the first time, he nearly had a heart attack.
Yeah, when I saw it for the first time, you remember what I said? I said...
Was it the lights off or something?
Yeah, it was the power, was the power out when you build it. Because it's actually, I gotta give it to Kev though. This thing is actually pretty darn epic. He did some crazy things here that are very, very out of the ordinary for RC guys, of course. So you guys send on his channel.
Our credit for that system is Martin Crease.
Right.
Martin came out with these first, and I stole the idea from Martin.
And it works, man.
So direct drive. Look, on a normal RC car, we've got centre transmission and gearing. which is good so you can change the ratios, but it's just stuff. On
Yeah.
this, it's almost like motor delete. They're like gone.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably doing things that you're not supposed to do on lives, but I just got a text from my family. Hey, Roz. You see, when you're so experienced, you already know to ignore it. But I see it, I'm like, oh, my family. Oh, my family is watching. Anyway.
Family number 1.
Families first. So that's going to be epic. Those huge ESCs.
15S each.
Right. So
30S.
Yeah.
Even though you're not allowed to say 30S, the fanboys
yeah,
go mad if you say 30S. No, 15S times 2.
Exactly. So it's 15S times 2. But that's going to be pretty fun. So all in all, it's going to be an epic event. Look at that lineup, man. You just have to just...
Here's one of these. We are going to Rossa, which is like, is it one of the... It's got to be one of the world's fastest RC places, isn't it?
Probably, and especially this year, because there's a lot of big cannons out there, including Kevin Talbot, believe it or not.
Raz.
Including Kevin
Not
Talbot.
me.
Because Kevin Talbot just became a cannon. We just build like some crazy monsters.
It's the lineup. How much horsepower have we got on this table?
All right, so let's calculate it. Here's about 25, 27, I would say. Here you have about full peak about 45 horsepower, 50 horsepower. Here is probably about the 23, 24 horsepower. Are you counting?
No,
a lot, and a lot. So you have a good Corolla here, pretty much. I would say so.
How much horsepower has that one got?
Well, if you really calculate it, almost about 40 horse, yeah. Almost about 40 horse. So,
Has this one got more horses?
Right. Yeah.
No, I'm not having that.
I'm telling you.
No.
All right. So this one, all right, fine.
No, look. AS, 15S, 15S.
Right.
I've got more power, guys. He's...
Yeah. You are.
More S, more power.
More S, more power.
Yeah.
So that's a beautiful lineup. And
someone says tape them all together for maximum performance.
I like it.
G.
I like it.
Good idea.
You might do that. And I think it's a good opportunity to have guys actually asking us some questions.
Yes.
About speedrun questions or other questions about our lives or whatnot. I don't know, whatever.
Yes.
You see, for you make those lives constantly, so you're used to it.
Yeah, well, I'll just do wrenching.
Yeah.
And then we get some comments while we're wrenching.
Yeah. All right, so this guy is asking, how fast? Psst. It's going to be very fast, actually.
I'm aiming for 205.
Yeah.
My aim is 205.
Yeah.
203, because that's what it was before it was the world record.
Yeah.
So 203, but I still want to go 205.
Yeah.
And then 110.
Here's what, no, 210. Here's what I think will happen. I think, now, this is actually very interesting because a lot of people are curious about this system. We still don't really know the capability or what it's going to do on speedrunning. I think it's going to do like 160, 170-ish and cut. And then we're going to double the system. And
so what's going to cut? The ESC?
Yeah, I think so. Because the Hobby Wings are amazing and they produce a ton of amps, but for 2.5 seconds, and then they cut to protect themselves. So we'll see what's going to happen here with this one. I'm hoping if we can keep this one together and it doesn't cut and everything works, this does have the capability to do about 210, 215 theoretically.
Is that build on your channel?
Yeah, it's on my channel. Yeah.
Raz's channel link is down below in the description. Raz Schifrin.
Yeah.
If you want to see the full build of all this stuff, you're going to have to go over there to see it. But any questions, we can do here.
Yeah. This one is going to be interesting. Probably like 180, 190. It's just a quick build just to see what's up. And this one is the biggest enigma of them all because on paper, it actually got over 200 miles an hour in it. It's just a question of we can keep it together. It's not too heavy, and those ears here is actually providing enough power like we want.
They might cut out. They might flame. We don't know.
You never know. One way to find out, right?
Yeah, let it rip.
Oh, and we just did that today for Kevin.
Yeah,
we just installed a nice signal booster on his 10px. It was a little bit different than the 7px, so we were a little bit iffy about it, but it's done. It's working, and it's good to go.
Someone says how much dollar was on the table.
What? But 20?
Yeah, I was going to guess 20.
20?
Yeah, probably.
About 20. But we're not talking about it. We're not talking about it.
Not when your wife's watching.
Right. If I had a wife.
If you had a wife.
Yeah.
Right. Should we get some questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
So how are we going to put this so you can see the cars and us? We need to try and... Because if they just see us, they're going to get bored, aren't they? They're going to be like, who's these knobs?
Yeah.
But
we're not that beautiful also.
But if they see the cars and us,
right,
then we can waffle.
Yeah.
And...
Yeah. We can waffle.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, we got questions. Right, so if you
let us waffle.
If you guys have any questions, Fire away.
This is
I've been told off. R.C. Smith said, Kev, quit interrupting.
Because you're so used to no waffle, and I like to waffle about my cars.
Yeah, Waffle Meister.
Yeah, Waffle Meister.
Where is Razzy's crazy tyre collection?
Tire color. Oh, it's all in the bag. So we have a ton of bags here. It was actually quite the endeavor to travel here because I had to get special approvals from the airlines and whatnot. I actually don't tell anyone. Hopefully, no one is watching, right? I traveled with my lipos.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh, yeah. And I actually got approval for it. It was a special approval, yeah. So we flew with the lipos.
You've got a sign on there saying, please don't throw my cars away. If you're going to throw something, throw the battery.
You know they called me.
The car.
They called me.
Did they call you?
Yeah, in the airport in Israel. They actually called me. And they said, because I had my phone number on the thing and everything. And they said, hey, what's going on? There's a bunch of cables, batteries, motors. And I said, no, it's all fine. And I had to send them to the channel. They looked at everything. And then it took about 10 minutes, but they approved it. And off we go. So as soon as they made it to England, to London, I, literally in the airport, opened everything just to make sure everything is there. Because if not, game over, right?
Cap Sky RC says, hey Raz, how can I buy perfect pass parts from France?
From France. So we're trying to be worldwide on Amazon. Check out the link. Did you put a link to my Amazon?
No, I'll put a link to your channel. But if I go to your channel, I can find links.
Yeah, so go to my channel and then in the description you have all the Amazon links. All the Perfect Pass products are on Amazon, of course. And we're trying to make sure that every product is prime all over the world. So it requires a lot of inventory, but we're nearly there. So most of the products, if you hit the link, you have faster-ish shipping. So Amazon is worldwide now.
Jason says, towing in or towing out for fast speedrun.
So about zero, what you're trying to do with your tow is about zero. Camber also, you're trying to do about zero. And tow, not tow out, not tow in. You want to be, what I do, I set it up to about zero, completely flat. And then I'm looking at my car. I'm putting a ruler. Actually, let's show them real quick.
Yeah, should we get the phone and pick it up?
Yeah, you can. So
what
what
do you do on that one? Because it's
yeah. So we just actually set up this one for Speedrun. What you're doing is you're taking a ruler to the front wheel and you're trying to make sure that it's about parallel to your chassis. And then you take the same ruler without moving the car to the other side. You're putting it on your wheel and you're trying to make sure and you want to see that it's about parallel as well. What I do is I do it parallel, and then just a nudge, just a smudge inward, just to make sure when your car is loading and unloading, it's not opening it up, because that will make your car straight. Just go straight, camber, straight, tow.
And when you set the camber,
yeah,
I was going to put a straight edge, like
right,
or 90 degrees there.
Right.
And you said, nope.
Correct. Here's the problem. When you put like a 90 degree here to the table, sometimes your phone will actually not be cut exactly straight. So what you want to do is once you're done with the setup, you want to come here and then you want to gently raise your car and you want to see exactly that the contact with the table is about flat on both sides. And then you want to make sure that when you raise it up, both of them are touching at the same time. So straight, straight. Lift with your finger, make sure this is exactly straight, so it's landing exactly straight on the table on both sides. And you want to do the same on both rear and front.
Boom.
That's it. That's your answer.
Boom.
Boom.
Right. Do you know what? The questions are coming in so fast, it's almost impossible to get them, so I've got to try and pick the ones.
All right.
Someone's sorry waffle. Oh, castle or hobby wing? That's an easy one, isn't it?
Well, yeah, Hobby Wing, I would say probably for bashing. A lot of you guys are having fun with Hobby Wing. I think Castle is great for bashing. Also, I think Hobby Wing is amazing for bashing. For speedruns, though, you need to make sure that the ESC doesn't cut, because it's great to have an ESC with a lot of juice, but you need that juice for an extended period of time, right? So the Hobby Wing will protect itself. The reason Hobby Wing is so durable is because it recognizes a certain temperature, a certain voltage drop, an amperage spike, and it waits for like a second or two and then it cuts. With the Castle, it doesn't. So a lot of people are burning more Castles for a good reason, because it doesn't stop. So if you don't know what you're doing and there's a ton of load, let's say 400, 500, 600 amps, and you're loading, you're not letting go, after about 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds, it's just too much. You got to think that's a really tiny ESC trying to absorb all that power.
Someone says, are we filming a main video? And yes, there's going to be main videos on my channel and Razzy's channel.
Yes.
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 Probably a few videos actually, not just one.
Yeah.
We've got videos at Rossa, videos in here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Why is Kevin so beautiful?
Kevin is. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about Kevin. He's actually a very beautiful kiddo.
Has he been to Santa Pod? No.
No, yet.
Raz and Kevin are perfect combination. Woo!
Yes.
XO1 jump. Yeah, at Rossa.
Yep, that's gonna happen.
100 miles an hour to the moon, flat out, full speed, on the ramp. Poof.
And one more thing. If I break the world record, we might or might not see a car going very, very, very fast and hitting a ramp at that speed.
Oh, you can't. One of those.
Maybe.
Well, like full.
Yeah.
Like 170 full.
180.
Or whatever it does.
Yeah. So if I break the world record with this one, this car will see God.
Oh, I feel so bad for it, man.
I don't. I don't.
That's going to be on your channel.
Yeah.
And you're going to do it at Rossa.
Yeah.
So if you break the world record, that's going to the moon.
To the moon. Ramp, 170.
Full speed.
180
Oh my God.
miles
So you're going to get like the world high jump record and long jump record.
Right. My only concern is that I'm just going to go through the ramp because it's going to be so much energy.
It'll be fun anyway.
Yeah, but I'm going to give it a shot. So if I break the world record with this one, I got my goal.
Oh, you can't go to the moon with the one you got
It's
the record
just too
with.
heavy. So yeah, I'm going to keep this one. But
you can't destroy the winner.
Exactly. But if I break the world record with this one, trust and believe, this little puppy right here, beautiful car, but it's going to the moon. It's definitely going to the moon. It's my dream forever now, and I never had the opportunity to do it. And if I break the world record with this one, doing like 207, 210 miles an hour, this one is definitely hitting the ramp at 170, 180 miles an hour, and whatever happens, happens, and hopefully something good, right?
Who would win a boxing match?
A boxing match?
He looks like a boxer, I don't.
No, I think Kevin will.
XO1 or Limitless?
Oh, Limitless. Easy.
Go hard or go home RC. Richard Robinson says, looking forward to seeing you both attending Rossa and run these monsters. Do love a creased twin build. Yeah, the Martin creased twin motor special.
Oh yeah.
Be good to see you, dude. Really looking forward to Rossa. Rossa's going to be a blast.
It's going to be a blast, man. It's going to be awesome.
Even if I've got the slowest car there, I don't care. I'll just have fun being there.
Yeah. I mean, this entire trip is just great. First visit, obviously visiting Kevin, but Rossa and everything, just everything combined, it's going to be pretty epic.
What's Raz think of UK? Hotter than Israel?
No, actually. The weather is brilliant. So first, Kevin told me, hey, just so you know,
No AC.
Yeah, most places don't
no
have
AC anywhere.
No AC, and I was like, what do you mean? Like, it's 2022. He's like, yeah, a lot of places don't have AC. So I'm looking at my Airbnb, and there's no AC. I'm like, all right, that's a bit odd. Kev rents a van for Rossa. It's a 2022, no AC. And I'm like, that's a bit odd. But, and I was kind of worried about it because I don't like to sweat, right? I got to England, and I got to tell you, the air here is so fresh and amazing that now I get it. Like, you really don't need AC. At least now.
Manuel Gaza, sorry, butchered your name probably. Says, I have 2 perfect pass servos ready to install. Beautiful.
Thank you so much. Yeah, they're amazing. Thank you. We had a huge amount of support and success with the perfect pass servos. Hundreds and hundreds of people are installing them and enjoying them. And again, thank you so much for the support.
They're good for everything pretty much, really.
Yeah. They're
crawlers, bashers. I've got one in the X-Max.
Yeah.
In the speed cars, in some other bashers. And it's been like great in everything so far. And I haven't broken one yet.
We came up with a pretty good proprietary gearing.
I might break one. I've broke every servo I've ever touched. I've broken.
Well, let's see.
Eventually, it's all gone.
I can't wait for you to break one, just because I want to know what it takes.
What kills them is when you're down on concrete. You're down on concrete, it just smashes the circuits out.
I'm dying to see it because then I will know at least.
I think it will just kill anything when you do concrete landing. In the X-Max they're fine because it's plastic.
Yeah.
But when you're in like a car with a metal chassis, metal servo mount, no give, you land it flat on the concrete, it just smashes everything.
Yeah.
Nicola says, can you explain how you set the shocks for speedrunning, please?
Yeah, no problem. So the rear shocks, you want to make sure that the cars have a ton of squat. Actually, let's grab one of those cars so we can take videos of this car. So one of the most important things that you want to look at is your squat. And people don't realize
so squat is how much it goes down, isn't it?
Exactly. So you need to make sure those are super, super stiff. And you want to make sure that no matter what, no matter how much load and squat the car gets, it never gets lower than the front because then you just blow over sometimes. Now, it really depends on the body. If you have one of those body like the Jag, or sorry, not the Jag, that's the FC100s, then it creates a lot of downforce, so it kind of helps you. But you want to make sure it's super, super tight in the rear, but still a bit spongy. And then when it comes to the front, you want to get to your splitter and about a finger high. So about a finger high, just put your finger
What happens
across.
if you've got sausage fingers?
Well, about a 3/4 finger high. Yes. So that's when it comes to your suspension. So the thing is, cushiness is traction. And a lot of people don't really understand it. If your shocks are like solid and the car is solid, it will try and skid way before it will try and bite into the terrain. So
on the back, you've got to have it hard because otherwise it will just
correct,
down and wheelie.
But
and
still a
backflip.
bit of sponginess. So you
Yes.
want to have a certain viscosity, if you want to call it that, because that equals traction. If it's just solid, you don't have traction. It will try and run away and skid versus trying to kind of bite into the corner or just, whatever it is. Yeah, that's Kev's idea. Brilliant.
So
beautiful.
you're making something, aren't you?
Making something.
You're making something that's a good version of this?
It's kind of a secret.
Oh, it's a secret, okay.
Yeah, but
Next question. Next question,
no,
then.
we can give it just a little bit. We're making something. We're working on a new product right now. We're working on a couple of new products. One of them will blow your mind. It's a world's first for RC cars, which is coming sometime soon. We're working on it. A lot of work. And we're working on another thing for the rear that will actually make sure that your body sits on the car and not being squished by the wind and whatnot. So working on something, and we'll keep it at that.
Someone said, when can they get this on eBay?
That's actually Scorched Parts RC. So that's a Ross Schifrin Special Edition Batwing, and it's on the Scorched website. David is selling them.
All right, let's plonk you back down. And next question.
Question.
Make a wind tunnel.
Yeah, we thought about it. It's like a big deal. Like, it really is a big deal.
Someone says I've got to buy new clothes.
You do? I think it fits you well, Kevin. I think it fits you well.
RC said, Raz seen the monster truck. Yes, how can you not when you're here?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's actually, I told Kev something about the monster truck. As soon as I saw it, I was like, holy, I don't want to say it, but it's a lot bigger. It sounds sexual.
Yeah, when you see
it's
it,
a lot bigger than you think it is, really.
When you on video, it doesn't do it justice at all.
Exactly. It's huge. Everything is just huge about it. And on video, it looks like toy-ish. I mean, you do see that it's a big size, but in real life, it's, no matter how I present it, it sounds sexual. It's bigger than you think.
Is Castle XLX2 combined with TP motor good for off-road speedrun?
Yes and no. So Castle is an unbelievable. I love Castles. It's an unbelievable ESC. You want to make sure that the KVs are about lower than normal. So for example, something like 24,500 KV and above, you want to kind of be careful with Castle. Now a lot of guys doing drag with the 29, of course, and the 32s. But you want to be very, very careful. It's just the pulsations are just a little bit too fast sometimes with so much load to kind of keep track for the ESC. So just be careful with higher KVs on an XLX2s.
Basher Queen says Raz is so more sexy.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Raz is king
She
of
got me
speed.
all embarrassed.
Raz is king of speed.
Yeah.
Someone
Thank
says
you.
I'm thinking about my life decisions because it looks like I've just got my head down. I'm reading comments, guys. I'm reading the comments while Raz is answering, trying to get the next one.
Right.
And I'm getting.
You're doing a great job at it, by the way. I don't know how you do it. I don't know if people really realize it, but to do a live-o, to be, frontal in front of the camera and keeping track of all the comments and everything, it's like DJing, but in real life.
I'm trying to get the questions that are not really aimed at me, but ones that are aimed at speed. So Raz can help because you guys can always chat with me.
Look at after Kimberly said that, I became red.
Raz is blushing.
I know.
Nothing
Am I
too much,
still
mate.
red? All right.
Raz tried any UK food.
Yes. So far, so good. Actually, we went to a really beautiful place. I'm not gonna say the name to not expose the location. But it was actually pretty awesome. It was tasty. It was good. And the atmosphere, people are so polite and nice. The weather is gorgeous. So, yeah, so far, happy camper here.
What is top speed of Lambo? 203, I think.
Yeah, the Lambo is epic, man.
Come on, guys. Any more speedrun questions? I see loads of questions. I'm trying to get the speedrunning questions. How long of a pass will you be able to make?
So my passes are 1 kilometer long. So pretty much I'm standing in the middle of 500 meters to the right, and I'm running the car 500 meters to the left. So you need about 1 kilometer for a real run. A lot of guys are running much shorter runs. You can, but it's just stressing the system too much.
What is the chances of Kev reaches his target of 205 mile an hour?
Believe it or not, we just honestly don't know. So this car that we talked about with the 2 TPs actually got the juice for it. So if everything is aligning, it might do something that we're going to be surprised. I mean, if you got to think, those are, how much were these? Like a grand each?
Something like that. Well, more even.
Yeah, like those
1500 I think or something?
Yeah, they're amazing ESCs. We still haven't seen them in the industry really doing something with cars. But you're talking about a lot of arms, a lot
don't
of
look like
juice.
they'll crash good.
Yeah, no, it looks too fragile, yeah, I know. But the power is here. There's a lot going on for it. If we can keep it together, or Kev can, and everything works, and the ESCs are happy, and the motors are doing what they're supposed to do, theoretically, 200 miles an hour is here. When it comes to this one, untested territory, this is what we're so curious about. The juice is here, but not for a prolonged distance.
Both of them we don't know.
Right, we just don't know. So it's going to be very interesting. I recommend just keeping track of the channel and watching the videos, and it's going to be interesting.
Is Raz sleeping in Kev's unit?
No, I actually took a nice Airbnb.
You got an Airbnb, and it said on the advert, we read it afterwards, it said on the Airbnb, it says, go around the back of the house and through the kitchen.
Through the kitchen? I was like, wait a minute.
I was like, oh, Raz, you're going to go into your bedroom and it's going to be like Frank laying on your bed. Just...
Yeah, I've been waiting on you. The thing is, in England, it's common to have bed and breakfast. So you get there and you sleep in someone's house, of course, and they're sleeping next to you in their own room. And I was like, well, and I'm reading, it says, go through the kitchen and your room is on the right. And I was like, dude, like I'm going to sleep in someone's house that I don't even know. And I was worried about that. I really was worried that I'm going to come and I'm going to see Frank with a night robe. Being like, oh, I was waiting on you to do my back. Or something like that. I was like,
massage my feet.
Yes.
Someone says we're acting like brothers.
Yeah, from another mother's.
What does Raz think of the sausage?
Whose?
The snowboard.
I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. It's epic. It's bigger in person, to be honest.
That's what she said.
Yep. I actually think this little puppy right there had the potential to do over 100 off-road.
Do you think a wind tunnel will help?
Yes. The problem is, and I was looking into creating one. And my friend Gilad in Israel is an amazing person. He's a great builder, and we thought about building one together, but there's just so much going on. We actually started investigating. You need a huge amount of room for a wind tunnel. It's not like a small chamber and whatnot.
You can't have a box.
You need like a funnel, and you need like filters, like to actually filter the air. It's too much. So until then,
which car is heaviest?
It's gotta be my dual yet. This will be the heaviest.
Oh, I thought that one with 15S.
Actually, yes.
When that's got batteries in it, that weighs a ton.
You're right. This one, you're right. I take it back. This weighs a ton. After that is my dual. And then after that, if we actually make that a dual, it's going to be by far ever the world's strongest RC for the size, at least. I mean, it's
I'm or Traxxas.
What?
I'm or Traxxas.
Well, it really depends. I think Traxxas are an amazing... Traxxas is an amazing company, and they have amazing cars. I connected to Arma more, and I think with Speed, so far what we have available in the market, 100% Arma. I mean, you just don't have... I mean, the Exo ones, the Exo ones are awesome, but the experiment didn't work. So they do like, a certain amount of speed, and you're pretty much done at that speed. With the Armas, it's just, it's better. Sponsored by
someone says
Arma.
2 RC Kings.
Yeah, thank you so much.
How do you prevent the wheels from spreading?
Spreading?
We've been ballooning.
Alright, so I'm using Gone Bananas, and you really have to have a manufacturer that knows what they're doing when it comes to gluing the foam without any air bubbles. There's a lot of centrifugal force obviously acting on the foam, and a lot of it, to be honest, still we don't really have the technology. It's a lot of hit and miss, so you just hope that they glued this specific rim properly, because they're trying to make as much wheels as they can. Of course, don't really blame them, it's a business, right? But sometimes it does happen. I mean, the last dual motor, this entire build got wrecked and gone because of a wheel that just exploded. You couldn't take it. I think it was 190 miles an hour flat. Yeah, 190 miles an hour, and the wheel just exploded. just sucked the car off the runway and it was over. It was pretty much done.
What do you think is more important, gearing or amps?
Both. A lot of people think that gears is what's going to make you fast, and it's true and not true at the same time, because I can tell you that with my dual, I got from 187 to 198 about with the same gearing. Same gearing. But it's just, there's just so much more to gearing. You have to understand the ratio. There's a lot of, many videos on my channel, including the video called Speedrun Secrets Revealed. It's a series on my channel that really explains it well. It's not just gearing, there's a lot more.
What days are we going to Rossa? All of them.
Right, yeah. 12, 13 and 14.
And the budget speed car, yes, that's going as well, if I get a chance to run it. I'm bringing it.
Yeah.
Raz, do you have mechanical engineering design background?
I don't. It just, I learned as I went, and just passion, a lot of passion. I was actually dyslexic as a child. I couldn't read and write.
Same.
Yeah, until a certain age, and then it got old, and I was like, all right, I got to do something about it.
Can you do size comparison of Raz and Monster Truck?
We're not allowed to go there, actually. It's a secret now, right?
Be careful to not reveal the name. What about if you cover the name and then I go in?
Okay. But I'm not going to be able to cover the entire name.
You might be able to.
I'm not that fat.
You might.
You might, what a compliment, Ross. You might be able to cover my entire monster truck. All right. There's no way. No.
No.
I can't. But you can show the bits and pieces.
Alright, so we'll go like that, and then Mazzy can stand there.
Yeah, hold on. Our model will introduce you. Shocks.
You said how big it looks in person compared to
exhaust.
Compared to when you really see it.
It really is a lot
like
bigger.
all these components. Look at the size of that knuckle.
Yeah, like everything. And again, in the video, you can't see.
It looks tiny on there.
Yeah, I see it on the screen. It's nothing. This is huge.
That's like probably 4 heads.
Yeah, that's 4 heads. And here, it just looks like just a normal hub, you know?
Just that part's probably a head.
Yeah, it's just huge. Everything about it. Like this part probably looks like nothing, like
that looks nothing on there, but look, it's like
huge.
That's like nearly the size of my wrist. Look, nearly the shock shaft.
Yeah, it's just huge. Yeah. I'm gonna actually take over a little
bit. Be careful.
Oh yeah, I know. Don't worry. I'm not gonna reveal it.
I'm too scared. You might reveal it.
Okay. Kevin doesn't want to expose the name.
Has Raz seen any zoomies yet? Now.
They're actually pretty badass. I gotta tell you, it's been said that Kev is not really super techie, but I gotta tell you, man, he built this entire thing himself. Now, when I saw it, I was like, oh, cool. So you just strapped it here and you close this bolt and well, he's like, no. I welded the angles. I made sure that everything fits. So to make all those 4 in the same exact angle, you gotta understand there is something going on here. So
we winged it.
No, I mean, Kev likes to tell on himself that he's not so inclined and blah blah blah. Let me tell you, this guy's an engineer. He's just modest about it. I'm telling you. No, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. We got to make windows. Oh look, here's all Rossa stuff. We got a table. We got a generator. Oh yeah.
Jerry can.
Yep.
Gazebo in there somewhere. Chairs.
Yeah, what's the name?
Oh yeah.
You see? Ooh. You see, I'm more responsible than you.
Oh, AC in here now.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah. Same goes to the shop. Like this shop, there's just so much more going on.
You said about all the 3D over there, didn't you?
Yeah, it's just so much more going on here than in the videos. Because in the video you just see like a wall of cars, but when you're actually here, there's just so much going on. Just a lot. Have I said it enough? I think.
High or low chassis?
Just right.
I thought this was high. When you showed me how high it's got to go, I was like, really?
The rear have to be quite high because you have to account for the squatting. So you want to make sure that you're starting your speedrun like that, and then you load, which means you go to about flat. You never want to get it like that. So high in the rear, low in the front, and once you squat enough, you level the car. So the car sits. And you can actually feel it around 130, 40, 50. It actually starts sitting. The speedrun actually starts at around the 150, 60. 160, 65, 70. This is where the speedrun starts. Until then, it's like, you know, things are happening. But at like the 170 about, you can actually feel the car just locks in place, and then it's just like a missile, and then you just let it breathe. You let the amperage drop a little bit, the voltage climb back and recover, and then obviously more voltage, more RPM based on the KV.
Vinny says, so Raz still isn't up for spooning my mum.
I don't even know how to answer. That's, yeah.
Oh man, there's so many questions here. I can't get them all. It's like loads.
Yeah.
Best starter RC car for speedruns.
Limitless and infraction, no doubt. Not even a question. Infraction, like, yeah.
What servo Raz do we use in X-Max? I'll just put one of his perfect pass ones in mine.
Yeah, perfect pass Monster will work great. The thing about the Monster is the gearing ratio, which we're not disclosing, but we honestly, I'm not trying to be cocky, we nailed it on the ratio. It's just amazing. It really is amazing. I feel
How
like
many pounds of downforce do your RC cars make?
A ton, more than you think. It's really hard to calculate. Obviously, we don't have a wind tunnel, but based on what the car is doing and based on what we're seeing, a ton. Because if you really think about it, there is so much force trying to wheelie the car, a ton amount of force trying to wheelie the car, and yet the car actually stick itself to the ground. So I don't know exactly. I'm not.
A lot.
I don't. Yeah, I don't want to.
Do you think it would hold itself upside down on the ceiling if it was at full speed?
I don't have the knowledge.
Formula One car apparently would.
I don't have the knowledge to answer it.
Does Raz share Kevin's love of Banggood?
Yeah, I think Banggood is doing something pretty... I mean, if you guys think about it, this is good for us. The more companies are out there manufacturing cars, parts, ESCs, the cheaper it will kind of get to us, the users, because more companies will actually battle on the same field. So that's good for us. If I think a Banggood car is an amazing car all the time, no, I got some cars from Banggood, and some of them are okay-ish, but the price is accordingly. So yeah, so I think it's a good thing. I think competition is great for us users. I do. I may manufacture parts and whatnot, but I am a user also. I'm an RC lover also. So yeah.
Is speedrunning expensive?
Very much so. Very much so.
Especially when you crash them up, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of heartbreaks, and it really don't matter if you do it for...
Man, the work goes into it, man. Like
Just
you
a
spent
lot.
9 hours just setting my suspension and stuff. And
Yeah, the car was built.
just messing with it.
Yeah, just messing with it.
Mounted the
because-
batteries, holding some connectors.
Yeah, there are no second chances. Once the car is ready and aligned for the run, we try to make it from the bench to the asphalt 170, 80, 90, 200. So everything has to be just right, just perfect. I don't like to actually waste the car and just do like normal 140s, 150 just to make sure everything is right, because you have to think bearings, everything about the car is taking a toll when you run it every time.
Russell RC, hey, how you doing, dude?
Hey guys.
It's great to see Raz over here.
Awesome. Sorry that I'm not really into the comments, but Kevy's doing it amazingly, so I'm just gonna let him.
Does the floor need any aero similar to a Formula One car?
Does the floor need any air?
I think I mean the chassis. Should you show him the chassis of all of
All right, yeah. Well, about. Yeah.
None of us have actually really done anything about the floors, have we?
Well, the thing is that we did without knowing. So, for example, take this one, for example, which is Scorched. He did a lot to the chassis to make sure that it's somewhat what you need. It's never going to be 100% perfect, but it sure does help.
On the armour, that's like all moulded into the chassis, isn't it, all this?
Right.
But does it actually help for speed runs, or is it just there?
Yeah, a diffuser is good, and of course, this diffuser, they know what they're doing, the armor guys. But yeah, of course, a chassis.
That must give a lot of downforce.
Yeah, and you got to really think. I mean, there's a certain amount of vacuum being created here, and every little thing changes it. And once people are getting into speedrun, they're starting to change things here and there.
What about when companies put skirts and stuff on there for certain things?
For certain things, I mean, we make skirts and whatnot like these.
No, you know the skirts. There's like a curtain that hangs down to make some pressure. Have you seen them?
I did. I don't have enough knowledge to answer it.
Apparently, it makes a vacuum underneath and really sucks it down. Apparently,
I don't know. I don't have the
we're
answer.
playing at some point.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know
Reminds me
enough
of a
about it.
Batmobile. Says Mur. Batmobile.
Yeah. What about it?
It reminds him of a Batmobile.
Oh yeah, that was the plan. So
Is this a crossover episode? Well, this is a live-o, and we're going to be having videos on both of our channels. And look, I think that's the most I've ever had in a live stream.
All right.
1,226.
Oh, beautiful. Thank
Woo!
you, guys. Nice.
Everyone loves a bit of Razzie.
Nice.
There's a Razzie link to Razzie's channel down below.
Thank you.
Next question. Now I'm caught up with all the questions. I might have missed some. There's so many. If you guys have got any speedrun related questions, try and fire as many of them as you can. Have you found a boat that Stempy sunk? Not yet. Limitless or XO1?
Limitless.
What about the new XO1?
Limitless. Limitless.
How fast do you think my dual motor build will go? This is Mike Stallone.
Oh,
He's had like 170 something already, haven't you?
Yeah, it's got the juice, bro. It's got the juice. I think once you get it dialed in. Yeah, I think once he gets it dialed in, then it's gonna rip. I think you got what it takes.
Do you use high-speed gearings? Bearings?
No, I used to. I used to really care about bearings, and I gotta tell you, lately, it's a tough question to answer because
Are you just running stock in yours now?
yes, but the problem is that I take apart my entire car every 2-3 runs. So for you guys, which you're not obviously not gonna do it, you might want to invest in some bearings here and there.
I definitely won't do it.
It's about your speed. If you're still battling to do like up to the 150s, 60s, don't even worry about it. Run stock bearings, you're fine.
Best radio for speed runs?
I don't have the knowledge to it, but I use my Futaba and love it. I started with the radio link, and a lot of people say, well, it goes right and left also, and it goes, you have throttle and brake. Trust me on this one.
Show them the little mod quickly what you've done on mine.
Yeah, I think we showed it in the beginning, though.
Again, because
yeah. You want a really good responsive radio, and you'll be surprised how much it changes your run. So on Kev got the 10px, and
hold
it's actually...
Hold it up a bit so they can see.
Oh, sorry. So Kev got the 10px, and today we actually installed, funny enough, a Banggood Special battery.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it actually fit a Banggood Special. I use the other batteries that actually provided for that remote.
We was going to go to red fins, but it was a little bit too fat to go in.
Yeah, and we just made sure that both connectors actually fit. Sorry about that. And that's it. You just have to disconnect that amplifier when you're not using it because it does leak some electricity. But we put that booster, and because distance equals speed, guys. This is what happens. You start your speed run, and that's why I told the guys in Rossa, I've just learned that from the tower, the traps are about 170 meters, 175. It's just not enough. Distance equals speed. What happened is you load the system so much, even with perfect pass, which is like the most linear way of doing it, still your amp spike dropped the voltage, and then you have to wait for the voltage to recover. Inertia takes place. And then your amps go down a little bit, the voltage recover a little bit, and you have more RPM. And it sounds like, if you guys want to laugh at me, this is your opportunity. It sounds like when you speed up, and then it climbs. And you can actually, if you pay attention to it, once it passes you, about 200 meters, you literally you can hear the sound. The pitch changes a little bit. That change is 5, 7, 8, 10 miles an hour. And people don't understand it. So you really want to run as far as you can. Distance is speed. Therefore, amplifier.
What kind of tire balancer?
The tire balancer is the one that I'm using. Is right now, honestly, most of them are balanced. It really depends. I'm gonna put my phone on mute. You see, that's a rookie mistake, Kevin. But the ones that I'm using right now is none because the wheels that Ricky is making me are muy bien. But
actually balanced as they come.
Right. Yeah. But sometimes I'm using certain kind of balancer. There's a ton of them out there.
Does Perfect Pass work with jump cars? Noah RC says because he's trying to build like the world's fastest off-road RC car as well.
Yeah,
and he's got a twin motor Martin Crease Special Typhon. Yeah, and he's trying to do long jumps with it. So can the Perfect Pass help that? Because when you're doing a run up, it's all squirmy.
I highly recommend it. Absolutely, highly recommend it. Yeah, of course. I mean that's you can dial it in to the perfect acceleration just before losing traction every time. So yeah.
Above 160 amps, do you recommend QS8 connectors?
Above 160, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Have you thought of designing your own body?
I thought about it.
Your one took off, didn't it?
What?
That carbon thing you had just took off, didn't it?
Which one?
That carbon body.
Oh, that wasn't mine. Someone designed it.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Have I thought about designing my own? I thought about it. Not yet. There are so many things that are more important to the industry right now. I'm trying to really prioritize because I have a bunch of ideas. I'm trying to prioritize the project based on what is more needed in the industry. My goal is for everyone to rip. Like that's why I share so much. I just want everyone to rip as hard and as fast as they can.
Are you using Perfect Pass to do speed runs? Yes!
Of course. Yeah.
I haven't used it yet. This will be my first time.
Yeah. It's just, you're a human. You can't have a perfect linear line. Just can't. Impossible.
Have you tried Onyx Power Solutions?
Going to for the first time right now in Rossa. I just got my Onyx.
Yeah, I've got Onyx in my one as well. 6S and 6S.
Yep.
Can you guys do some speed runs on James McCoy's road?
James McCoy's road. It's in America. We can't physically. But I love James, and he's got a really nice road. Very, very tight. I gotta tell you something. James McCoy, I think he's an amazing driver. He's doing such an incredible job.
That road doesn't look that wide, does it?
No, it's
just a
not.
normal street as well.
Amazing, amazing driver. Good person also, and an amazing builder.
Will your perfect pass shafts work for bashing?
Yes, absolutely.
Where do you get Onyx batteries from?
Michael Wolford, sorry if I'm butchering his name, Michael on Facebook. So, yeah.
Russell says, Raz, Lambo or monster truck?
Oh, Lambo.
No, no.
Of course.
What?
Of course.
What?
I have a suggestion.
Out.
I have a suggestion. I'll talk to you later. I have a suggestion. You have the monster truck, and I'm okay with the Lambo.
Okay, yeah, we're good.
Done.
What a good buddy.
Yeah, that's what friends are for.
Hobeo GTB for speedruns.
I don't know. Never tried one. People like them. I don't know.
Where do you speedrun the most?
Israel and the runway that we have in Israel. Yeah.
Raz, did you ever think about building a nitro speed car?
I kind of built a nitro from that limitless. So I made a nitro limitless. It was okay. It sounded really good because I took the 2-speed transmission from the Traxxas T-Max. It was like a dee-dee. It was pretty cool.
Just rear-wheel drive, wasn't it?
Yeah, it sucked. Pretty much. I mean, that's the truth. It sucked.
Best battery for speedruns?
Tough one. I know so far about the SMCs. Onyx supposed to give about the same solution. So we're gonna see. I haven't tried them yet, so we'll see.
How many passes?
But I've heard SMCs coming up with something pretty epic also. So we're about to find out. Yeah.
How many passes do you get from the batteries?
1.
And then you charge it?
Yeah.
How many charges do you get from each one?
It's very hard to say, but I want to say about 20. I still use them, but it's just not the same effect.
Why do you use such a thick diff fluid? We're actually
I want
locked.
to see more of us.
We're actually locked, aren't we? Locked diffs.
Not quite. My diffs are a million.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought we had spool in there.
No.
No?
Mine is a million. In some of them it's a spool, but now I have million in both.
Oh, so why?
Yeah. I wanted the car to find itself better on the asphalt. The lockers are great, and I ran locked for a while. Lately, I've noticed, it's actually driving style, so each one have its own driving style. I noticed lately that with a million, I can have a little bit more flexibility on the asphalt. The car just finds itself better. That's the only way I can explain it. I know it's weird.
Best collaboration ever, says Nabil.
Nice, thank you. Thank you. I'm actually super excited. This is actually a lot of fun for me. And time with Kevin, I gotta tell you, sometimes you see YouTubers and you think that they're amazing on camera and everything is love and joy, and then off camera they're like, not really.
A bit like me.
Yeah, let me tell you, with Kevin, it's exactly like that. No, with Kevin, he's actually an amazing person in real life.
Thank you. You're not bad yourself.
Thank you so much. No, really.
What is your favourite Marvel character?
Well, funny enough, I just bought this shirt today.
From Tesco's.
Actually. From Tesco. So I went with Kevin.
£6.
£6. I had to have it.
Yeah.
I had to have it. But if I were to answer, I don't know. There are so many of them.
Oh, slow down. Don't ask. Well, don't ask me. You can ask Raz. How do you dispose of your older lipos once you've retired them?
So what I do, I put them in a bucket with water. And, well, first of all, I'm trying to drain them as much as I can. Bucket with water. Waffle. Hey, people likes it. You said that it's the most amount of people you ever have in a life.
I'm joking.
Right?
We can either stab it with
so
something.
waffle along.
I'll just stab it with something until the flames come out.
Exactly. What I do is either we blow it up or we put it. We have to say the right thing to do. I put them in a bucket with a bunch of salt and with water, and I wait like 2-3 days, and then I dispose them safely with a screwdriver.
Axe, saw.
Yeah, something in that.
Sometimes
nature.
you put it on the charger as nickel metal hydride and just keep charging until it's got.
Yeah. There is a video on your channel actually with that.
God, I love a Tesco special. Someone just asked something. I forgot what it was. Oh, why not use Formula 1 style bodies for speed runs?
untested territory, to be honest. With bodies, we just don't have enough availability out there, so we don't really know. The Limitless was supposed to kind of be a Formula 1 dealio, but it's still open wheel.
What's the fastest Limitless body?
Oh, you know what? I don't know. What is it, like 160, 70, 80?
Probably James McCoy, isn't it?
Perhaps James, yeah. James is, yeah. I think he's Limitless.
But I think Formula 1's cars would be faster if they had covered bodies.
Right, there's
but
just
they
so
have
much.
to run open wheel.
Yeah, there's just so much drag. So if you want to try to go the fastest, that'll be in closed wheel or a GT body.
How do you warm your tyres?
I don't.
Do you warm your batteries?
I do sometimes. Now with warming batteries, can I waffle about it, please?
Yeah, you can waffle.
Because that's super important.
You waffle, and I'll try and find some more questions.
All right. So with batteries, obviously heating up the battery will have an inner resistance, lower inner resistance. So the cell will yield better results, and the voltage drop is going to be less. The problem is that on certain setups, for example, if you're higher geared, let's just say that you geared your car and you run the car and it's fine, it runs like 150, 60, 70, 80, whatever, and you're happy, everything is fine and dandy. When you heat up your lipos, they will be able to produce more voltage or maintain higher amount of voltage for the same load. And with higher gearing, if you're over geared, it's actually going to cut on you. So it's actually going to hurt your system or your setup. Heating up your lipos is recommended if you're geared properly. So if your car can actually breathe nicely, then you will actually enjoy the benefit of heat up lipo. If not, you're not going to. So another thing with the dual motor, we just ran 198 miles an hour for those who just joined, with kind of iffy batteries. With those batteries that have a lot more juice, we're not sure, it might actually cut because it might be a little bit too much wattage for a certain configuration. If that makes sense.
That's it, you waffled out?
I'm done.
You waffled out. What is the worst crash you've had with an RC car? It says Honda, hello, Joe.
Mugen. Definitely the Mugen in Florida. That video for some reason didn't got any views, but that was very, very heartbreaking. The hardest lately was the Losi 5T. I gotta tell you, man.
Oh, that's a mess.
Dude.
That looked evil watching it.
Dual evil.
Where's his channel?
Yeah,
check it out.
On my channel.
I hit a solid curb sticking out.
Man, dual motor with my friends in
brand new.
Erez and Barak in Bnei, and that was just, it was just horrible. It was just horrible, heartbreaking.
Where can I purchase Perfect Passes Noah's RC?
Amazon. All Perfect Pass launch control are on Amazon. All the Perfect Pass products: servos, shafts, carbon fiber.
Caleb says, "Why don't you guys use LIHVs? High voltage lipos."
The problem with HVs so far, the technology is just not there. Most HV cells will not give you the same C rating. So something have to pay the price. You have a certain amount of energy, obviously, in that battery. Most of the high voltage ones, the voltage will just drop under a certain load more than a normal cell. So far the technology is not there. High voltage packs are amazing for certain uses. For now, asking for 400, because amps you ask, you don't get. Voltage you get from the batteries. Amperage you ask from the battery. And if you can produce it and provide it, great. If not, not. Still, the technology is not there with high voltage cells. You just don't have enough C rating. So you might as well just use a normal voltage and have the voltage dropping less than an HV.
Why do you cut the body around the back tyres? Why don't you just leave it flat?
Right. So I've tried it a couple of times. Again, some are keeping it. I've seen many drivers, including ones we talked about, keeping it in the rear. I found that for myself it works a little bit better. I tried it covered twice, and it kept rubbing and whatnot. I could probably build something to kind of protect it, but I was like, you know what, my way is okay for now for me, and I'll just go with it. So
what do you guys think of Spectrum ESCs from the felony and infraction? I've upgraded to 8S 160 amp 1250 kV motor, or do I need the standard 2050 kV one?
So the Spectrums are okay. They're pretty much Hobby Wings, right? I mean, let's face it. They're pretty much just changed version of a Hobby Wing. They're amazing ESCs up to a certain amount of power that you can squeeze out of them. They're great. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to do with the stock car. They really do.
Where are the new 4S models, Kev? Still waiting on my 4S lineup. Do you still use the older Castle XLX?
I have two of them. I don't use them because the new technology is just so much far superior that you don't really need to use the old ones.
Why don't Raz answer these questions on his channel?
Well, the problem is, I'm not going to be completely honest about it. I was very embarrassed about doing a live. Now I see that it's actually working, but I always ask myself, because I have a relatively newer channel, right? Not like Kev's. And I said, how do I do it? Like, how do I answer it? How do I look okay on camera, answer the question, read them at the same time? But I really should do it. It's just lack of experience and being a little bit embarrassed and not ready enough for it. That's the truth.
Why are you not heating the tyres?
Because they're foams, so it's pretty much pointless. If they were rubber, maybe, but foam, you can try and heat it up. Not much will happen.
Out of interest, is Perfect Pass any different to the throttle speed ramp settings in the Futaba radio?
Absolutely. Good question also. The speed ramp in the Futaba is just not long enough. So the Perfect Pass was born, the launch control was born out of my need of something that works, because I had my Futaba and I tried to do the throttle speed on it. It's just not enough. It's too quick. So if you want a nice 7-8 second speed run, it's just impossible still. So you have a really nice 3-4 second, whatever that gives, but it's just not enough. So you have to use Perfect Pass. So it was born out of a need, not out of I want to make a product. I made it for myself. Mike Hoffmeister, my business partner, and myself, we made Perfect Pass for myself.
That's like all the stuff you make those for yourself first.
Yeah, and then I tested. I was like, dude, listen. I saw the improvement. Every single car I put it in, 10 more miles an hour, 15 more miles an hour. I was like, all right, enough.
And
this will be.
Less blowing stuff up.
Yeah, better traction. I was like, this will be a product. People need it. That's why we didn't price it like 100, 200. We're not horrible people about it. We just say, hey, people need it, done.
Claire's RC says, yo!
Oh, hello!
Hello, Claire. Claire's a moderator. Am I misbehaving? Claire's going to moderate you.
Yeah. And apparently Vinny's mom.
Oh, yeah. Well, she's going to spoon you.
She will moderate me and spoon me. No, it was actually funny. It's actually a private joke. If you guys heard the joke, you would know.
What do you think about speedrunning the Traxxas Fortec?
The thing is, when you speedrun a Fortec, if you're at like the 140, 50, 70 and over, 60 and over, you're not really speedrunning a Fortec any longer. I had a Fortec and my highest speed was 158 miles an hour. It wasn't really a Fortec, to be honest. It was entirely custom. Everything was custom. Nothing about the car was Fortec. So people still speedrun them and call them Fortec. World's fastest Fortec. It's not a Fortec. There's really nothing Fortec about it. So it is speedrunning at 10 scale. I will give you that. And it's very tough. And I just knew that I'm not going to be able to squeeze 80s, 90s, 200 miles an hour easily on the go with them. So I went to the bigger platforms.
Have you considered active aero in a spoiler or with flaps on servos with an accelerometer, whatever you call it?
Accelerometers, I thought about it. I still don't see the need, to be honest. Now with static and dynamic control, I get good results. So for now, I haven't messed with it.
There's not actually downforce on this, is there?
Correct. So we tried to make
a lot of people said to me in the comments before, so why have you got a rear wing on it? Take it off, you don't want that downforce.
Right.
But it's not downforce, is it? It's more like a dart back.
Right. On purpose, there is no downforce, but you have a lot of rudder action. So that actually keeps the car. You can see on my channel, we tried to remove it at some point because we had a lot of wind. Once we removed that, I almost died. It's on my channel, and it's pretty...
What, you almost died on the car?
Yeah, 100 and, I don't know, like 80,
I was coming 90. At you?
Yeah.
Is that where it went in the dirt, and you just caught it?
I caught
on the edge, right on the edge. Yeah.
Drifted on the edge. And, yeah, so that it does help a ton.
Just keeps it level. Nice and straight and level.
Yep.
I've not been on the board. I've been listening to Raz waffle and not been getting new comments.
I love waffling. I just discovered that I love waffling.
RC Smith says, my two favourite YouTubers together. Hey!
Thank you.
Thanks for making this live, Kev. Mike Sloan says, wish I could come to Rossa. Come along, man!
I know, right?
I think booking's closed now, though, isn't it?
Yeah, you can still catch the flight.
I think booking's closed, but they might make allowances.
I gotta tell you, the journey here was actually tough. 15 hours. Since I left my house and landed at Kev's house, 15 hours. And I live in Israel. It's like a 5-hour flight.
How do you heat your lipos?
How do I heat my lipo? There are lipo bags out there that you just buy and you heat them up.
What is the highest C rating you would use for speedruns?
as high as we can get them, really. C rates are the biggest lie of the industry right now.
It's a made up number.
It's a made up number. The problem started with some companies lying about it. So they had like a 30
So then
C.
other companies have to lie.
And then they have to lie. And then they have to lie. All the C ratings you see today are about double to triple what the battery is, actually.
So Traxxas LiPo, say like 25C,
It's
they
legit.
might actually be obvious.
No, it's legit.
They might be.
No, it's legit.
They might be legit.
Yeah,
but
but
people say, but like, Traxxas LiPos are crap. They're only 25C, but they're honest.
Exactly. A lot of Chinese companies started manufacturing LiPos and say, all right, so we have 30C, let's call it 55. And then the other companies started, they're like, oh, really? Let's call ours 65, 95. And then you got 100C, 150C, 200C. I gotta tell you something, guys. Technology will be at the peak if we will ever have a true 80C LiPo. None of us have ever seen a true 80C. But a lot of LiPos in the market are freaking amazing. Yes, everyone lies about the C rating because they don't really have a choice, to be honest.
Does a higher voltage spec increase the range you get?
No.
Really?
Well, kind of, yes. Because in a high voltage, you can pack more into the battery, right? It's so hard to calculate it. I would just get a bigger capacity for you.
How much does wind affect a run?
A lot.
Side wind must be the worst.
Most of it. A wind is a lot. I mean, I was just jinxed with my dual motor, trying to break the record every time. Tried it like 3, 4, 5 times, and every time we had horrible headwind. And you gotta think, 10, 20 mile an hour headwind on an open runway is just a lot. It actually stops the car.
Michael says no farting in the shop, Raz.
Too late for that.
Bastard.
Too late for that. Kevin and I were... Never mind. We have a slight competition today. Let's just put it like that. Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you. Kev comes to me. He picks me up from the airport. We're talking about everything and life, and we talk a lot. Kev and I talk about every day when I'm back home in Israel. And he's like, "All right, I have 2 rules. Can I say it?"
Yeah.
No. His first rule: no farting in the shop. And I was like, "Kev, stop." It's like, no, it's not gonna work. And then he's like, "All right, fine. Second rule." So the second rule is no meat in the shop. And I was like, "All right, I'm okay with it."
I went to a meat factory once. I had to work there. And it was, this is the worst.
So he's a bit scarred from this experience.
And then I was a lorry driver delivering stuff to Great
Waffle.
Hospital.
Waffle. I'm going to do the same now. I'm learning. Waffle. No one cares.
I got lost. Ended up in the morgue. And it smelled like bacon. Exactly the same.
Yeah. And he's scared by now.
Yeah.
By the way, a guy named Boris, a fat Russian guy named Boris was there also. It was dark.
Can any of you solve the Rubik's Cube? I can't.
I can't. I mean, I'm sure if I try it and whatnot, I will. But eventually I will after I learn it. But no, I have no idea what I'm doing right now.
Can a parachute save a speedrun car from total destruction?
Yes, and some of my buddies are trying it as we speak. So far, it's not really working. I can't really talk about it too much, but some of my buddies are trying it right now and running some experiments with parachutes that are activated with the remote. So far, no success. So once it gets interesting and they would like to talk about it, they will.
Why don't you use rubber tires?
They just centrifugal force that activated on the actual material is too much and it explodes. No one makes rubber tires that can actually hold the centrifugal forces so far with 200 miles an hour car.
What do you think of running with FPV?
I think it's tough. My buddy Connie back in Florida is doing a lot of FPV and drones. I think it'll be very, very tough actually and hard to actually see through the goggles, and I just think so. And I'm used so much to seeing it on the runway. Maybe at some point. I just don't have enough knowledge about FPV to actually put everything together. So I might at some point.
Savage Dave says he's going to stop asking, but I haven't seen him ask anything.
All right, sorry, David.
Maybe I've got filters, a lot of words blocked because of spammers that try and pretend to be me and promote BS.
Yeah.
So sometimes if you guys are asking genuine questions, because I've blocked certain words that spammers like to use, some questions don't make it through sometimes. Even though when you type it, you'll see it, but no one else can see it if it's a blocked word. Can you use the 4x4 Ultimate Traxxas?
I don't know. Maybe.
You should get Mikey B2 bids down while Raz is with you. Oh, it'd be epic if Mikey came, but
right.
he's monster trucking.
Right.
Is your body painted with special lightweight paint?
It's actually a valid question. No, I try to not really have paint on the body just because of weight. Of course, if you hold an empty can and you hold a can, you can feel the difference. A lot of it from being lazy sometimes. Lately, I've been having bodies painted by Anthony Jageski. Hopefully, I'm not butchering his name. He's amazing on Facebook. But on the Jewel, we're going to run clear. And on the Cordova, we're going to run a painted body. And no, it's just a normal accent paint.
How do you prevent wheelies during speed runs?
You make sure that your squat is under control. Everything is in the rear shocks.
Show him again.
Yeah, so make sure that it doesn't squat more than leveled. So we really have to be
You never want the front to be able to go higher than the back.
Exactly.
Basically.
Yeah, so how do you control wheelies? Obviously downforce, but a lot of it is in the shock. You want to make sure that the rake is that the rear is higher and then it squats to about level.
Even when you push down on it.
Right. Yeah. Well, not too. If you put your entire body on it, you're gonna eventually ruin your shocks. But yeah.
Yeah. So heavy is no good for speed runs, says R.C. Smith.
Has not been proven yet. A lot of speedrun cars lately are dual motor and they're super heavy. Yeah.
How does Raznight drive it in the UK? He hasn't yet.
Hasn't yet, but every time we go into Andy Delente, I'm trying to get into the other door as a passenger, and he's like, and Kevin, every time Kevin's like, "Oh, you're driving?" I'm like, "Oh, no." And then I go to the other side. Very weird to sit and there's nothing there on the left side. There's just nothing there. I'm not sure why they build it on the wrong side, but yeah, no one's perfect.
Ever tried max amp batteries?
Yeah, it's horrible.
What happened?
Very expensive batteries, $275 per pack. And it was just a lot of fuss, and they didn't really provide what I wanted to. Now, for their protection, because I really hate to talk bad about a company, they might have amazing batteries, and I just don't know. The exact model that I tried was not to specs.
Has anyone done a speed run with a X-Max? If you have, what was the speed?
I think someone did like a Husky, right? Something around there, like 100 miles an hour or whatnot.
Would running narrower wheels not improve speed due to less rolling resistance?
It will. Very good question. The problem is that you can't keep the car together barely as it is right now. So narrower wheels, you have to understand, it's so finicky. Like you have, the car is literally like almost hovering-ish and you're kind of doing something. You want to have as much traction as you can. So I think the width that we're running right now is about perfect.
Have you thought about making your own ESC?
No. I think there are many companies out there that know exactly what they're doing. I'm choosing my battles also. I think they're amazing at what they're doing, and no, I just enjoy using theirs.
Why don't you use X01 for speed runs?
It's just not proven enough, and I don't have the energy or time to reinvent the wheel rather, with an X01. So I've seen so many people failing. Yes, I can probably take an X01, and I'm trying to really make sure it's not sounding cocky. I can probably take an X01 and probably try and tweak it here and there and might squeeze like 150, 60 out of it, 70. But if it's so unproven, why, again, choosing my battles, when it comes to that.
Can you explain how you get the rear shock so stiff?
Yeah, I use just silicone rubber bushings that I put on the shaft, and you have to really get a feel for it, and then until you're happy, pretty much.
Fuel tube?
Fuel tubing also, yeah. Speedrun Secrets Reveals, I'm showing how to use it with fuel tubes on my channel. It really depends on you. You just have to get a feel for it eventually.
All depends on the weight of your car.
Exactly. Yeah.
Will you do a 200 mile an hour jump?
If I break the world record, this time at Rossa, on my channel, I'm going to have one of those 170, 80, 90 mile an hour car hit the jump, yeah. And we'll see what happens. I always wanted to do it.
What about hard bodies? Better than flexible?
Really depends on the body. I'm trying to make sure that my body weighs the least amount, of course, and I'm trying to make sure that it's strong all around. Don't really have an exact answer.
What's your favourite cost-efficient batteries to use?
China Hobby Line and Gen Z's. Amazing. Really. I mean, if you really think about it, guys, what China Hobby Line and Gen Z's give us today is something that we could only dream of 10 years, 5 years ago.
Raz, where do you get your speed running wheels from?
Gone bananas.
Someone says his wheels keep melting.
Yeah, about the 200 mile an hour mark, 198, right? It's a set per run. That's it.
Someone else has complained about me not answering the questions. There's so many questions here. I'm trying to answer I'm trying to read out the specific speed running questions, and some of your guys' questions might not get through because I've got filters on there for spammers.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get new questions as well that haven't been asked yet. Best battery brand.
I'm not gonna answer it because there are so many players involved lately with batteries that I'm just gonna keep it. There are many good brands out there currently.
How do you calculate what gearing you need?
I'm showing it on my channel, Speedrun Secrets Revealed series. It's on my channel. There are 7 episodes.
Can you do like a quick overview, just blah, 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 and then they can see in detail in yours?
Yeah, you need to know your transfer ratio, which is ring gear, divided by your input shaft in your differential. For example, these limitless have GP5 gears, so it's 2.8 transfer ratio. You plug that into your app. 2.8, many people ask the app, it's gearing app on Apple. And then 2.8 for the transfer ratio. You calculate your wheel diameter. I like to cut mine to about 100 millimeters. For Kev, we got 101 millimeters, but it's about roughly the same. You plug that in as well. You put your kV for the motor, and then you put your voltage, how many cells. If you're running 8S, you want to put 6S at about the 375, 380 per cell to simulate in your calculation voltage drop and resistance. So 8S setup, calculate at 6S at 375, 380 per cell. You input your transfer ratio and whatnot, and you want to make sure that you have a realistic speed. Bigger gears are not going to make you faster if your system is not ready to accept what you're giving it.
Basically,
it will either cut out, get hot, not going to get there. You're just going to try. Yeah, a lot of people are trying to put higher gears and say, "Hey, I have a bigger opinion." So what? If you start a drive, even if it's a nice brand new Corvette, on third, it's just not going to go. So,
what do you think of the Reminator?
The Reminator is a lot bigger than you guys think. Like, I thought the Reminator is huge on Kev's channel. Seeing it in person though, it looks like literally twice as big. It's huge. Every wheel is like 2 heads.
Yeah.
It's huge. And on the channel, it just looks like a normal toy.
X-Max.
X-Max.
Yeah.
You know.
And then it's like
in real life, epic. It's just huge. Everything about it is huge. Love it.
What surface is classed as off-road for speed running? And I would say it's different for everyone.
Right.
But for me, on grass.
Yeah, I think
for
grass,
me, because some people do it. Some people have taken it to like the salt flats.
Right. I think it's still out in the open. There is no governing agency for it, so
whatever you decide. For me, on grass, I'm challenging myself for grass.
If it's not a road,
off-road on grass.
If it's not a road, yeah, grass is tough, man.
I mean, that's my challenge: 100 miles an hour on grass.
Yeah, it's just tough. But there
real
is
grass, not golf course grass, not AstroTurf, just grass.
Yeah, but then comes the question: what is real grass? So I think it's just too open.
Depends whatever you want to. I've challenged myself to just normal grass.
Yeah.
Do more drifting videos, Kev. Best car to build a speed car on. Limitless, isn't it?
Yeah, limitless in fraction. Depends on what you want.
Hobeo maybe, but we don't know yet.
Right. The Hobeos are amazing. I've heard good things about them. I just don't have the experience or the knowledge to comment about them, but I heard they're okay.
How do you balance your tyres?
We answered that, so rewatch the video.
Hello from Scotland.
I'm just trying to respect all viewers.
Make the car go faster. How much does your average speed run cost?
My average, it's an amazing question. I don't know who asked it. Who asked it? It's a great... Yeah, I see. It's actually an amazing question because not many people ask how much is a speedrun cost. Currently at around the 190 to 200 about miles an hour. Every speedrun you would reckon about probably about 90, 100 bucks.
Have you considered a jet powered build for speedruns?
I did. Don't have the knowledge yet with jet.
I'm going to build one.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy a jet, fly it, probably crash it. Hopefully the engine survives. Take the engine out and put it into my infraction.
Yeah.
That's the plan for me. Have you considered a 2-speed gearbox?
There's no need. There's just no need. Now with brushless, if we gear it just right, we have the entire spectrum that we need. So
how do I get my tyres to smoke? Got them hot, but not smoking.
I think it really depends on the material and the actual
tyres, isn't it? Probably.
Yeah.
Infraction tyres smoke. Stock infraction tyres.
Yeah, they will.
When did you start gaining progress on your channel, Raz?
I just kept on doing it, and people liked it. I never thought my channel will become an actual channel. I just did it for my speedruns, and then it grew and grew and grew, and lately, I think in the last year, it shot up pretty much, and it was exponential. I thought it's going to be linear, but it wasn't. It was exponential, and hopefully we'll get to a bigger channel. Of course, it's my passion currently, so that's what I want, and I would love for more people, obviously, to join. I really like to share my knowledge and what I know, and whoever believes me, stick around. But lately, in the last year, it became bigger and bigger. Yeah.
Do you like my RC collection?
Love it.
Hey.
Love it. I think it's actually very, very unique, and there's just a lot going on. Again, another thing that they don't really see in the videos. You show the cars, but it's almost like 2D. In real life, there's just so much going on and so many details. It's
on the camera, just flat.
Yeah, it's completely different, really.
This is the best live stream, says Ben Stones.
Awesome. Thanks, dude.
What do you think of Speedrun batteries?
Never tried them. I don't know. Never tried them.
Where's the beer? Do you clean the track before the speed run?
Yes, every time.
Leaf blower or broom?
No, we just go and we kick all the rocks. It takes, sometimes it takes like a good 20, 30 minutes. We come at about 5:30 in the morning, 6 in the morning, up until sunrise, about 6:30 in the morning, the runway is clean. And sometimes it's a pain, yeah. Sometimes we spend, me and all my friends back in Israel, we spend a good 20, 30 minutes.
Do you believe Kev will ever send the X-Ray 1 to the moon?
Yeah, this time in Rossa, and you guys should watch the channel because it will happen. He told me, he was between us, he was like, yeah, this one is going also. I was like, why?
Kimberly says come to the Salt Flats. That would be good for speed runs.
Yeah, Kimberly does live in Utah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that'd be good for speed runs.
I don't know. Never
It's
tried.
flat and long.
Yeah, never tried. I don't know. I don't know if the surface and whatnot. No idea.
Why would you warm the batteries up instead of freezing them? My car would go faster after I freeze them.
No, it won't. It's placebo effect. Electronics, colder. Batteries, hotter. This is the ideal environments. With Teslas, when you want to go ludicrous, as they will, you have to press a button and it actually heats up the battery. So with the electronics with your car, freeze the electronic. Well, don't freeze, but make the electronics super cold. Make the batteries a little bit warmer if you need it. If you don't need it yet, don't, because it shortens their life. So don't.
Ben says, Raz to 1 million subbies.
I wish. I don't really see it ever happening, but...
Well, get subbing. Link down below.
Yeah, yeah.
Get subbing.
Sub to the channel. Yeah. And thank you for that.
Chris says, holy crap, I caught a live stream. Hello, dude. What speed car would you recommend? A lot of the same questions coming in again. Yeah. What about water-cooled ESC?
I never tried it, so I don't know. I think it's going to be a little bit too much going on in the car. As it is, we don't really have room. Some cars do have room, but no, if you speedrun, just set the car on the asphalt or tarmac, whatever you guys call it, and run it, bring it back, shut it off, done. Let it cool down, and you will be fine with most of my cars, I don't really use fans for that reason.
Yeah, someone just said no cooling fans on the motors, someone just said.
Right, I don't want the extra weight and complexity, so I just run the car, plug it in, put it on the ground. I don't really do normal runs to set the trim. I set the trim, that's why you can see in all my videos, you can hear tick tick like my remote clicking. I set the trim when I'm out on my way to the run. Even if it's a brand new car, never hit the road, I put it on the ground. I already know that my setup pretty much. I put it on the ground, fresh new build, never hit the road. And then on the way to the run, I set my trim. You have to set it on load. A lot of people set their steering trim without load. So if you're just going unloaded, 20, 30 miles an hour unloaded,
that's what I do.
this is not the trim. You want to press. Once you have a certain load and the car is actually loaded, this is your right trim. So you load your car. A lot of people ask me, hey, why do you force the car on the way to the run? It's wrong. You're right, but I need to, because trim can only be set under load. So force the car and watch the trim. Click, click, make sure it's straight, and then you're ready to go. Straighten the car around, turn it around, straighten the car around, and just rip. That's it.
Spill a speedrun secret, please.
Spill a speedrun secrets. Your rear shocks. That, like, go to your cars right now and ask a million questions about them, because a lot of your speedrun is in your rear shocks.
What do you think about RC boat speedrunning?
Love it. I think it's epic. Never really tried. I had boats, brushless boats, strong brushless boats. Never really tried it deep enough, I would say.
Is Castle Creation 2400 kV the best for speedrunning?
Right now, I believe so. A lot of people like TPs as well, of course. I think the best motor right now for speedruns is the Castle 1721 2400 kV. Unbelievable motor. And if you want just a nice motor just to do like normal 140, 50, 60s, and that's it, 2028 1100 forever.
Will you make an aerodynamic body for speedruns?
Eventually, that's the plan. Not yet. I think there are much worse fires to actually put out for the industry. Things that people are still struggling with. What I love to do is to see where people are actually hurting the most and go fix it, because I enjoy more than actually creating the product to see a lot of people happier. Like, you know, they don't crash as much. They have better traction, better steering. So this is why I went for the traction control, or sorry, the launch control, the perfect pass. I went for the servo. I went for the shafts, the carbon fiber titanium shafts, because I saw so many people having their shafts whipping around the car, creating damages. So I said, okay, first we're going to put out the fires that make the most amount of damage to our industry, to the cars, us, the drivers.
Have you ever injured yourself doing speedrunning?
Yes, absolutely, of course. Yeah, first of all, yeah.
What happened?
Many times. Just cutting myself here and there. A lot of times the cars are in, not really from the car.
Have you hit yourself from a car?
No, not to that degree, no. When it came back and I didn't pay attention and like 10 miles an hour, but no. Most of my injuries from speedrun is actually going to find the car inside the bushes, and they're like splinters and stuff.
Well, so not actually from the car?
Yeah, not from the car.
That don't really count then.
Yeah, but I still wanted to have a heroic story.
He's got a t-shirt on.
Yeah.
Best budget speed car?
Stock infraction.
But if someone wants to be more budget, because maybe they just want to spend like 300 maybe.
Hard. Soon enough I'm going to try and push a Corrali to the limit. I don't really know. I don't have a good answer. Unfortunately, I haven't tried many budget speedrun cars.
With a dyno for speedrun car, so you could see how fast they can go without any aerodynamic.
Yes, but it's going to be tough, because you got to think one of the biggest variables is aerodynamic and drag. If you really think about it, wind cost us, with our bodies, with that about size and face that we're having right now, the coefficient of drag, wind cost us about 6,000 watts. That's what about.
But it goes up as you go faster, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, but if you have to think, most of the wattage that we're actually producing goes on cutting wind. The rest goes to actually propelling that object forward and faster. So most of it is drag. Most of it. So 6,000 watts of power combined to cut wind before we accelerate is actually a lot. Well, accelerate through that wall is going on drag. So aerodynamics is huge. Again, my dual motor car from like 170 something, 180 let's call it. 187. From 187... or 180, wait, whatever. About the 188.9 to 198, almost 10 miles an hour, that's what I'm trying to say, was same gearing. Exactly. Same batteries, same gearing, same configuration. What changed was little features in drag. 10 miles an hour, same gearing.
Alex says he's asks loads of questions and not getting an answer. I'm just scrolling through, I can't see any, dude. The only comment I can see from you says a response from you to Crackers saying, hell yeah, get an X-Max. So, as I said earlier, I've set up a load of blocked words to stop the spammers. And
how long have we been going now?
A long time. I think you have to call it a day soon.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how long. 80 minutes. That's not that long. Oh, yeah, hour and a half.
83 minutes.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. That's a lot.
Please discuss KV and S rating. Is higher voltage and lower KV better, and why?
Right, so here's a big misconception. People think that more S's...
I think more S, more power.
More S is more power. The thing is, power...
It is, I know. When I've got my X-Max, on 6S is slow, 8S it goes. So on if Raz's car does 200 on 8S, if I put in 12S, it's going to go 240, isn't it?
No.
Why?
No.
Power
is...
More power!
More power! Power is wattage. Okay, which is the combination with voltage and amperage. Power is wattage. A lot of people take a 4S car or a 6S car, they put 6S parallel, so there's a ton of capacity. So the wattage, the combination of the multiplication is the same wattage, and they're surprised that they're going the same speed as 8S. Of course, 8S 5,000 milliamp is exactly the same. Sorry. Let's take 6S at 5,000 milliamp is the same power as 8S at 3750 milliamps. You have the same power. So, yes, you're just
going...
Why
don't you just go 1S then?
Well, you can't. That's too much. But 6S 5000 is exactly the same as 8S 3750 milliamps. You're just taking the same amount of wattage with more voltage, less amperage. If people did 4S challenges with only 5,000 milliamps, then every time you have an actual result, you can be proud of yourself. But if you just pump the system with milliamps, it's the same wattage. So a speedrun, to say 4S or 6S or 8S, yes, of course it makes a change. The higher the voltage, the lower amperage needed to achieve the same amount of wattage asked by the motor. But you really have to understand that power is wattage. The motor will ask for a certain amperage. Amperage is being asked. Voltage is being given. Right now, let's just say your outlet on the wall is, I don't know where you guys, let's just say America 110. You're going to plug something and for sure it will get 110. But you can't tell me that it's going to get 10 amps. So for example, I'm going to take a hairdryer, waffle. I'm going to take a hairdryer and connect it to the outlet. The hairdryer will ask for, let's call it 10 amps, okay? Let's call it 10 amps, it's probably less, but 10 amps. But if I put a phone charger, the phone charger will receive 110, but it will ask for an amp, half an amp, 2 amps. So the same goes to our cars. The amps are being asked by the motor, voltage is being given by the batteries for the same amount of wattage. The same amount of power needed, you can decide if you want to give it with voltage, lower amps or capacitor, whatnot, with C rating, or with amperage, what you...
Waffle.
But it's important.
I'm joking.
They ask. You just have to change your gearing accordingly, but it's the same amount of power. So if you take a 4S car, and you're very proud of yourself, and you should be, because I think it's a cool challenge. A lot of people are doing it now. 4S, and you have like, I don't know, 10,000 milliamps or 8,000, 6, whatever, 1,000 milliamps, twice 2 on a 4S, surely the voltage is 4S, but your milliamps will accord to the same about wattage. So it's like running a 6S or 7S car. Should you be proud? Yes, but all you're doing is achieving the same amount of wattage with less voltage, correct, and you counter with higher gears, or higher kV. kV stands for constant velocity. Yes, I know many of you think that kV stands for kilovolt. You're right, in most cases. Brushless motor, it's not kilovolt. You would say that constant velocity is with a C, not with a K. You'll be right as well. kV, after all, with brushless motors, stands for constant velocity. How many RPM your motor will spin per 1 volt? If your motor is 2000 kV, it will spin 2000 times per minute for 1 volt, and then you multiply the voltage and you calculate. So the game between voltage, amperage, and gearing, something to really think about it.
Why not narrow the chassis?
Waffle.
Why not narrow the chassis like they do on the Bourneville salt flats, or whatever it's called?
Well, we don't have... These are just so capable that we're still not there. We can... There's just so much. You have to understand, speedrun, when a lot of people ask, what is a good speedrun car? A good speedrun car is a car that you can crash, going 150, 160, 70, and be okay with parts availability and how much it costs to fix for the next weekend. This is a good speedrun car. And of course a car that is stable. And
so you've got to make it all, and you've got every time you crash it, make it all again. It's
just not going to work, because a good speedrunner knows, I mean, you don't really have a choice. You crash many times before you get fast. You just do. So this is why we don't do like very super custom special, because every crash, you've seen the crash. Just recently I lost about 3 cars, and every car was almost 3 grand in time, labor, equipment. So that's why we use cars that are available. If I crash right now, I can just hit up Arma, Horizon, Scorch, whatever, Perfect Pass parts, and just get it
back on.
Yeah, throw it back on. Yeah.
Do you use any software to work out aero?
No, I don't.
Ben Stone says, you can't argue with science, but more power!
More power!
I agree!
More power!
There's more power!
Yeah.
That's why I reckon if we both built a car, I'm just like more power, and then you've done all the technical,
right?
It would be like kick-ass.
Right. That little buddy right here, let me tell you, this should be very interesting, because this is more power, but it's so heavy.
Bit of edge tuning.
Raz tuning. it's just gonna cut. That's the problem. We put perfect pass on this one, and we're gonna set perfect pass all the way to the right. So it's gonna try and keep the amperage relatively lower for the system. So we might get something out of it. Haven't seen anyone yet doing something really great with that new Hobby Wing setup, but we never know. We'll try. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find the Jason comment because he complained about not getting answered, but I can't see any.
You can type it again, Jason.
Russell RC says, best live ever, so informative but also funny.
Thank you.
What does Russ think about your RC collection? I see a lot of people ask.
I think it's epic.
We've already answered.
I think it's great and a lot more interesting in person, really. Yeah.
Do your speed cars have AVC, so like a gyro in it?
Yeah, absolutely. I love gyros. There is a lot of ego going on with gyros. A lot of guys out there, for some weird reason, think that a steering aid is correlating with how, like, with their testosterone level. And no, like, you're enough of a man. It's RC cars, guys. I use whatever I can, and I've said it once in a video, even if I need to use like fairy diamond dust, whatever I can to make my car go as fast as I can. My goal is to go as fast as I can. Gyro, perfect pass, magic wheels, diamond dust, special motors. I want to go as fast as I can, period. I don't need to show anyone that I'm a man and I can steer a little bit more or I can press a little bit smoother. I don't care. I want to go as fast as I can. No matter what I can use, I will use it to become the fastest.
Someone says, you can tell Kevin's thinking about packs of donuts in the back of the fridge.
Actually, hold on, we got something. Hold on.
And Bruiser says, enough waffle, Technobabble.
Yeah.
Why is there a kV limit on lower kV motors? What?
I didn't understand.
Why is there a kV limit on lower...
Oh, Kevin, look what I got for you.
Oh, no, not for me, man.
Why? Kevin's...
That's why. Leave it alone, man.
Kevin's trying to get skinnier, but we just bought these. And they're just unbelievable, man.
Not for me.
You need some shoes. What do you care, man? I don't have anyone to impress.
I want to impress myself.
Because you're already handsome, Kev.
Oh, thanks. You're not bad yourself.
Okay. These are actually...
I said, Eddie says, great combo.
Oh.
A lot of the same questions coming in now. You're killing Kev, says.
With all the
waffling. No, I'm trying to find the new questions on here whilst Raz is waffling. So it might look like I'm like, oh.
No.
But I'm trying to find a new question. Is two-wheel drive better than four-wheel drive for speed running?
No.
Add a jet engine on the rear for extra speed.
Too much weight.
World's fastest brushed RC car?
I have no idea, honestly. I just don't. I don't know.
Good to be part of this legendary live chat. Hey.
Awesome. How many people are still people watching? Like 100?
Still 1,000.
Oh.
Does Raz have any plans to make his own batteries?
No, not yet. I just there are enough great batteries out there. Like I said, there are other fires that we need to put out first and resolve.
Cool to discover Raz. Excited to watch his videos.
Thank you so much.
Do you have a gyro turned up to high?
No, my gyro, if you use the Futaba, I think the best one is the GYC 441. Mine is constantly around the 35 clicks. So gain, just connected to channel 3. Gyros are amazing. Use a gyro. I see so many people against gyros. They crash on their channel. Every like 2-3 videos have a massive crash. I mean, come on, dude. It's not rocket science. If you crash so much, why not have an 8? So you're less of a man by 5 people. Who cares? Just like, who cares?
So Noah says, so Raz, what is the point of running 12S then?
Well, with 12S, you have a ton
of power. More power.
A ton of volt. You can have lower amount of amperage for the same given wattage, which in the end of the day,
more power.
You can have eventually more power and gear your car more because now you can have higher amps with that same given voltage.
My only question is,
never mind.
How little is the steering angle when you're moving that thing at over 190 miles an hour?
It's tiny, and I use a little bit of expo. Like I said, I'm using every aid I can to help me go fast as I can and as constantly as I can. If I'm out there on the runway and I have normal day can be like 189, 190, 192, 194, 197, 198, like 4 or 5 passes of 190 plus a day instead of one that is like the holy grail, because I have all the aids, of course,
Well, if you're trying to do the world's fastest RC car, it's still an RC car. If I put the gyro on it, it's still an RC car.
I'm not a man, okay? I'm a girl. I don't care. I want it to be as easy as possible to constantly be as fast as I can. Of course, I'm a speedrunner. Like, that's it. That's the whole gig, to go fast.
Do you set up your suspension to keep it from bottoming out under the downforce?
Yes. Good question, actually. So I put some cushions there sometimes. Yeah, because there's a ton of downforce, and especially when you stop.
A lot of people say, what's the best battery guy?
There's just such a war right now with batteries.
Mini rolls are banging. RC cars and junk food, love it. YouTube, little breaks around.
I think let's call it, and then we'll have another live-o maybe in like 2-3 days.
On your channel?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's long.
So you guys have to sub off to
95 minutes live.
You will have to sub to Raz's channel, and we will do some more on there.
Yeah, if you care for it.
Yeah, if you guys want it. Yeah, they want it, because we've got, I think we've had the record amount of people on the stream. 1,100. I had 1,000 before, I think, but we had 1,200.
Yeah, nice.
So Raz broke the record.
Thank you so much.
Woo!
Thank you so much for joining.
So check out Raz's videos. If you like that sort of stuff, then give him a subby. Watch some more.
Yeah, that would be incredible. Thank you.
Alright, bedtime. Someone did say that Raz looks tired, but I feel tired.
95 minutes, man. I'm shocked, actually.
And a 15-hour flight and all that crap.
Yeah,
and
it's
not
a
much
lot.
sleep.
And 9 hours building that behemoth. Yeah.
Can we end the live with a Staircase of Doom demo?
Yeah. With what?
Your one?
No. No. Good attempt though, but no way. We got to end the live.
I couldn't get my answers yet. Jason, I can't see your comments coming up, dude.
Maybe he's just messing with
Jason,
you.
ask again.
Ask it now, Jason. Ask it now. Come
Jason,
on.
ask.
Come on.
Because I've heard a few people say, I keep asking, not getting a reply.
Yeah.
But you know, if some words are blocked because of the spammers, so. Toby, what's up?
Oh, Lucas Williams. He's commenting on a lot of my videos. I like this guy.
When
are those batteries coming out? The Onyx, I think we're gonna try them. Haven't tried them yet.
Do I need a signal booster with Speedrun radio? Do I need a signal booster for Speedruns with Noble radio?
I had the Noble. Yes, you still do.
Is there any plug and play signal boosters for it? Not really. I had the Noble. Amazing radios, but it didn't give me as much as I really wanted. Try it though, because my terrain was a bit weird. Florida, when I tried it, I know the Nobles are pretty good. So I don't have an answer. Try it. Just go out there. Make sure that you have about the same level though, because that changes a lot. Yeah, should we call it at that, and then we're doing another stream on Raz's channel? Yeah, we'll do another stream, and there are probably many people that will have more questions. And yeah. All right. Coolio. Thank you everyone for stepping by. Thank you so much. It was awesome. Thank you for having me, Kevin. All right, so we're gonna take Raz back to his Airbnb. Yep. And tomorrow what are we doing tomorrow? Tomorrow we're working on your outer duel, and then see Redfin maybe? Yeah, Redfin malls, and then prepare our gazebo, table, generators, gas, van. There's a lot going on for Rossa. Rossa is going to be epic. Yes, can't wait. Yes. Put link to Raz's channel. There is. Yeah, it's the link to my channel is it's either Raz Schifrin on YouTube or links in. Oh yeah, on the description. Yeah. A link in description. Link in description. Yes. So we can check on here. Look. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. It works. We're in. Yep. Top line off the description box. See you later, Claire. See you tomorrow, hopefully. Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Is that what you said? I'm trying to be you. I don't know. We just go. Bah! Bah! Bah!